Welcome to another episode of Direct Edition News. I'm joined by filmmaker Lawrence Cope.
Hey.
And Alex, as usual. And basically, one of the first things we're having to talk about this week has got to be the actual assembly of the Avengers. The cast of the new Avengers movie actually came together with director Joss Whedon, and this is one of the kind of highlight moments from San Diego Comic-Con. And if you imagine, you've got Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, you've got Thor from the Thor movie, you've got Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, you've got the Black Widow Scarlett Johansson, you've got the new Hulk Mark Ruffalo, so you've got all of these different Avengers there on stage with Joss Whedon. And for me, I think the cool thing about that is they've been on stage at Comic-Con, man. This stuff is actually happening. Seeing that cast and seeing, you know, that it's someone who can handle a kind of an ensemble cast in the shape of Joss Whedon. How do you feel about it?
Excited, scared.
Yeah.
As I often am before, it's, you know, obviously on very rare occasions they get it oh so right.
Yeah.
But you know, as we are all too aware, they sometimes get it all very wrong. And if they get this one wrong, they can kill a lot of franchises in one fell swoop.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm nervous, but I'm mad excited, because if they get it right, it's going to be really right. And there were moments of sheer genius in Buffy and in Angel. So, you know, Joss Whedon, he has his moments.
I mean, as long as these characters are treated with respect, and I think they will be, and Marvel are finally looking, going, hang on, this is a lot of money at stake here, because like you said, if they mess this up, they could turn away people who've been collecting comics for 30 years, and they could stop new fans getting onto the comics.
I think that's the thing with big comic book movies, that when they're done well, they help to support and enliven this medium of comic books that we all love. And when they're done badly, we all worry that they're damaging the medium of comic books. And I think that's why I think comic book fans get so kind of excited or worried about new movies, because, you know, we all have this kind of slight stigma that we deal with. Everybody thinks either you're a geek or that it's a bit childish watching comic books. And when they're converted into great movies like Batman Begins, it kind of validates your interest in the medium with people, do you know what I mean? And when they make bad movies like Catwoman, it kind of shows people, you were a twat all along. Do you know what I mean? It's like it kind of validates people's kind of dissing of you as a fan of comic books. So, you know, Joss Whedon, please, all right? For all of our sakes, for all of us people who love the Avengers, who love comic books, don't let us down. Please. Now, another thing that we've got to talk about forthcoming from Marvel is there's a new Carnage book coming. Now, Carnage is it's become quite a great Spider-Man villain. He's not one of the classic originals like Doc Ock or the Vulture or Mysterio, but in the wake of the whole kind of Venom saga, he became and has grown into quite a serious villain in his own right for Spider-Man. And what looks really good about this Carnage miniseries is you've got this art where it kind of shows Spider-Man and Iron Man kind of together again, which we haven't really seen since the whole we saw a little bit in the new Avengers books, but it's good to see, but we haven't really seen so much of that since the whole Civil War thing, when they kind of went their separate ways. So I think that's really cool.
You know, it took me a while to get to feel anything for Cletus Cassidy, and I got to tell you though, he actually has turned into one of my favourite Marvel villains of all time. I love the way he's drawn. When he's drawn properly, he just looks beautiful on the page. And sort of like when you get Venom and Carnage going at each other, man, it's just it's a sight to behold. So any mini-series with Carnage in it is something that immediately I'm probably going to be interested in getting my balls on.
Well, I mean, I remember the first time Spider-Man sussed out he had to team up with Venom to defeat Carnage, because he was more powerful than both of them, and he's sort of like the ultimate enemy. And like you said, when he's drawn well, with the blood dripping off him and the enzymes and the ooze, and he's sort of like creepy, and he's like, don't touch me, please. You know, he is a brilliant villain. And again, like you said, with Iron Man coming into it, you know, Peter Parker did kind of look up to him before Civil War, and he was trying to put Peter under his wing, Tony Stark, and led him along, and they had that fallout.
That whole science geek type of together thing. I really liked the dynamic of their relationship in a lot of ways. They were almost like it's like that whole kind of Wesley Snipes, Sean Connery, senpai, Kopai kind of relationship from Rising Sun. And so I like that dynamic, so hopefully we'll get to see a bit more of that in this new book.
Definitely. I mean, the thing is, as well, like you say, Carnage is always going to be coming back.
Yeah.
And he's one of the few villains like that. Is just pure evil. Like even with Doctor Doom, there's always a reason why he's acting evil. You know, it's to save Earth or it's for this. But Carnage, just Carnage.
So the new Carnage series will be on our shelves in October of this year, and we're really looking forward to it. And closer to the time when it's out, we'll kind of report on it and let you know what we think. It's not really a preview, but I've just wanted to kind of bring to people's attention, if you're not aware of it at the moment, that this Volume 6 of the really remarkable series Scott Pilgrim is out now. I know both of you guys are not into this yet, right? But I can't recommend it highly enough. For me, what's cool about Scott Pilgrim is it's the best blend of that kind of Japanese kind of Eastern style of manga and the Western style of comic book storytelling. Those two styles, this for me is a really good blend of those two things with lots of its own kind of original kind of concepts and ideas and artwork. And I just think it's these things for me, these little Scott Pilgrim books are something that I really looked forward to over. I've got the previous 5 of them, really loved them. This is volume 6. I cannot wait to read this, and I think what's going to be real cool is that I think later this year when the Scott Pilgrim movie comes out, everybody's going to discover this property, and I think it's going to grab a whole lot more fans. But before all those people jump in on it, you know what I mean, comic book fans, if you're not already aware of Scott Pilgrim, then you really need to check him out. It's got loads of really cool references to music and to video games and to manga, and it's kind of got this weird thing where it slips in and out of this kind of very realistic kind of style of storytelling into this complete fantasy sort of thing, and they sit together really well and kind of balance each other out beautifully. And you know, it's just something that I'm really glad to see part 6 is finally with us. And you know, I may even do like some sort of special report once I've read it, because that's how much I'm excited about finally getting hold of a copy of this book.
I think you need a room alone with the book, is that it?
Scott Pilgrim's Finest Hour is out now, and you should grab one because I really like this book. So that's pretty much it for another Direct Edition news. We'll be back next Monday with more news, views, opinions from everything surrounding the world of comic books. And we'll be back on Thursday with more brand new comic book reviews. Make sure you join us then. Thanks to Alex and to Lawrence Coke for being here to talk about some comic book news. We'll catch you next time on Direct Edition. Peace out.